Let me watch the part about the guy with that was so melodramatic first. Now that I'm reminded of it, maybe we'll have a different outlook on the game. Even though he was ranting about Donkey Kong Country 64 or Donkey Kong 64. Diabetes has been observed. Well, yeah, absolutely. I don't trust my body at this point to be healthy. At least not based on my lifestyle. I don't actually have any ailments, but based on my lifestyle, I don't trust it. No, 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 Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong. Pause. Pause, Donkey Kong. Please. Right. Okay. Where was he? He was so dramatic. The way it is filmed, the way he filmed himself, I wish he hadn't. It was like he was being held hostage somewhere, making a plea for his life. But I think it was just being dramatic. Let's see. Donkey Kong 64, and I kid you not, the title was Means the World to Me. It looks very, very dramatic. Look, traumatized. You wouldn't think he's talking about his favorite game. I think he's been talking about the guy that killed his family in front of his eyes. Maybe that was Donkey Kong. Vocal Fry. That's dramatic. It is a little bit ASMR, but I don't know why he's looking away so much from the camera. There's something weird about that. I guess he's looking at the script. I guess he's looking at the script. It's a YouTuber, I have to remember. They're not that. They can't do what I do, right? Kind of have to write everything down they're gonna say, otherwise, who? How do you make a sentence? Oh, you can't hear the vocal fry. I'm sorry. Wait a second. I'm not gonna roast him, but I'm just gonna roast him a little bit, yeah. Just in a kind, passionate, and lovely way. So I thought it was not a bad video. I actually watched the whole thing. It wasn't a bad video.
Family friend's house.
But so melodramatic.
I typically would spend most of my time in their guest bedroom.
Oh.
In this bedroom, all they had was a bed, a TV, and a Super Nintendo.
Yeah, the vocal fry is pretty bad. That adds to the drama. I was in a guest bedroom. I was locked away in a white cell with nothing but a Super Nintendo. And this was my happy place. So I can't even do it. This was my happy place. Okay, so there he goes. And then he talks about, yeah, I know there are issues with the game, blah, 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 but there are so many mental connections there. I know what it smells like, these rooms. I know what they feel like. Where does he say that part? Aren't you glad that you get to earn more channel points because I'm rambling about some random video instead of actually getting around to stuff? Let me see.
Time. For
Ah.
so long, I really haven't been able to verbalize.
How can you sound so depressed? You're talking about your favorite game. It really sounds like Donkey Kong murdered his family.
Why it's my favorite.
I talk like that because I'm like, I know. I know he's in some kind of basement. Is he really just talking about Donkey Kong? But we should be looking at his eyes. Is he blinking? Is he blinking in Morse code?
Favorite game. It just is. There is something there that keeps me mentally returning to that world all the time. I still, to this day, consistently daydream about Donkey Kong 64. There is an allure there that I just cannot escape.
I think this is what happens when you play video games at too young an age, maybe. There's got to be a combination of factors here, because while I do have some powerful nostalgia about, or not nostalgia, I have some clear memories, right? A mix of nostalgia and memories, but I was 10 years old when I started playing games, and I also, of course, felt very immersed in games. But it wasn't like I'm not daydreaming about Donkey Kong every day. I'm not daydreaming about Yoshi's Island every day. I'm just streaming those games. Like maybe it kind of harks back to something I said before. If you um no, even that. Like my theory so far was always if you regularly revisit stuff from your childhood like you can do nowadays, and he talks a bit like how the games are time capsules, and that's true. You can revisit them fairly uh, easily as they were back then. So it doesn't really hit that hard in the feels. So because I kind of had several phases in my life now where I sometimes look back at those childhood things, it's never really that emotional. Just like part of my present as much as it is part of that uh, the first time I played it. It's part of the now. It's part of maybe 5 years ago. So there are lots of different eras linked to these games, and it's not necessarily just this one era that is so far gone, right? But he seems to be um, deeply hitting the feels every time. There must be a lot of neurons he has that I'm lacking as a sociopath there. And it must maybe it's just like he's a sensitive boy, or he's exaggerating. I don't know.
Why?
But then again, he could turn on some lights, and I wonder if it would still be as dramatic.
I think one very important aspect is the visual design, and the absolutely insane attention to detail for a game released in 1999. And not
So the insane attention to detail for a game released in 1999 is a line I find a bit strange. Because because the high-end games at the time, right? They came from an era where every detail, every pixel mattered. If you apply that logic where every pixel mattered and could make a difference in what an asset looked like to 3D design, then it makes sense that these higher budget productions, and this was a high budget production. Look at how high budget this pointy ear is here. They went in with that idea that, like almost a Chekhov's gun sort of thing. Is that Chekhov, by the way? That every pixel mattered, that every detail mattered. Except now it was in 3D. So it was actually quite common back then that things like Ocarina of Time and such, those games really wanted to be immersive. Because we came from an era where game developers had to really have colors, visuals, and sound blend together very well to convey a certain illusion. And that philosophy, even when we went to 3D, was not quite yet like, oh, we need to just make it as big as possible or something like that. So detail was a big part of game design philosophy. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just Donkey Kong Country 64.
not only how well the world is realized in-game, but how I built these strange mental connections from the virtual game world to the physical world that I grew up in.
Which is interesting because you would think you'd only like I played some games on holiday. Like I took the Super Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo with me. Sometimes I took it with me to a cousin's place, but it's not like I took it everywhere. It wasn't the Switch, you know. Oh fuck, we're gonna get a whole generation of people growing up on Switches and shit, and then Steam Decks, and they're just gonna have like everywhere they've played a game, they're gonna be crying about it now. In the middle of a shopping mall, it's like this is where I played Super Mario Elephant Edition.
Frantic Factory is the third level of the game, and it's set
I'm not gonna
in an
watch the whole thing, by the way.
abandoned toy factory. Near labyrinthian in its design, it sat empty for so long it is now inhabited by the very toys
Talk
that were
faster.
created there come to life. It's dark, eerie, cold. The music is sinister. The shadowy metal corridors act as gateways to the next piece of
Yeah, I don't know where he's going with this, honestly. I watched the whole thing, I still don't know where he was. But he was just saying like, oh yeah, it reminds me of this bad room.
the puzzle, but also as a dark warning of I remember how of Walmart.
It reminded him of Walmart, this section. I don't know how, because clearly you were not taking your Nintendo 64 there. But he doesn't know how either, so it's kind of like, yeah, my brain is kind of fucked up, and I don't know why. Maybe it's a cry for help, honestly. Maybe it's a cry for help. Like, the way it works for me as someone who's also ancient, yeah, there are associations with certain circumstances, but the game was never too far away. If I remember a game in correlation with a certain era or memory, it's never too far off. Like it was a certification where I had this or that game with me, where I played this or that game in those circumstances. It wasn't like I was in Walmart, or it was related to a video game store where I thought I first saw this or that title in a demo. I even remember things like games I didn't play. Like I remember when Killer Instinct was playing in a game shop and such, and I bought Mario Paint on that day.
K. Rool's giant mechanical island.
Ancient is a nice word because it highlights that I'm everlasting. I've lasted a good while. I'm going to outlast all of my subscribers, unfortunately for you guys, but I have to find new ones at some point. But that doesn't mean that we cannot have fun while we're here in the now. Let's cherish the present. That's what I've learned in my eons on Earth. It's all about the present, and it doesn't matter that one day you guys will be dust, right? That's not about what it's about. It's not about the whole thing. It's about this now. That matters. This will always be a point in time that matters. That always will have happened, and that will always bear relevancy. So, and maybe one day we will repeat the whole thing. We'll repeat the whole timeline. Maybe we'll skip a few parts, and then this will happen again.
Situated just opposite of DK Isle. Whenever you go there, it will immediately.
This is a feel-good stream. It's like, sorry, I just find myself more interesting than him. Yeah. It's a feel-good stream. Just here to remind you of your mortality, but in the most optimistic of ways. Right? You're not never truly dead. You'll be. I'll rewind the tape at some point, play it again, and it will happen again. And the good parts only. I'll only do the good parts, like now.
Start to storm. Lightning flashes from the sky rip through the world as water pours down from an empty sky. The sun is still clearly visible.
Yeah, that is because of limitations, I think, that the sun is still clearly visible.
Another indication that this storm is not natural. This place screams danger and darkness, and yet it gives me very vivid memories of my grandmother's old house.
Okay, that makes sense. I can play a game there. Yeah, again, for me, some of the stuff... I also have a lot of stuff that I just filmed on camera. And I have some footage where I edited music from video games. Like I was 10 or 11 or something when I started doing that. 11 probably. I added some video game music of games that at the time Super Nintendo titles had some emotional impact. They were immersive. Right? Games knew how to be immersive, I'll give them that. So for instance, I do have memories of the garden, what do you call it? Like an allotment with a cabin that my grandparents had a bit out of town. Don't think countryside, just out of the city. And that was like a montage reel that I had some Secret of Evermore music playing under, and some other music, I think even Terranigma. So, because of that footage existing, obviously it created this sort of aesthetic memory. even if the footage is a little crusty in hindsight, because it was also copied, and it was filmed on a shitty camera that was kind of breaking down. There's still this connection to some extent between the games and the music and that specific aspect of my life where I went to my grandpa's outdoor house. What do you call it? It's not really outdoor, but I don't think there's much of a cottage. It's not much of an equivalent like that in even in today's culture. You don't really have that much anymore.
The exact opposite vibe. This
All right. All right, then he doesn't explain why or anything. I just wanted to see like what he said again about the crystal cave. Why does he say that about the crystal cave? We talked about that. Well, here it goes to being in the dark again. He could have the flashing lights with just a normal, like I do. I've colored lights behind me, and I have this in front of me. I don't know how I could even add a little bit of color to my face. I have a thingy here for that. Well, I don't have the remote, but here. Yeah. Do I even have the one that controls it? Yeah. So, okay, let's see. See? Without being in the dark, you can have that without being in the dark. You can have colors, colorful lighting. It doesn't mean you have to be a shadow. Well, what he's doing is more like this. When I see King Cruel's SM dungeon, I'm reminded of when I browsed through my grandma's drawers and I saw her panties. It was kind of hot. Paraphrasing. I'm horrible. This man is just being emotional and showing emotions. Showing emotions, everyone. How can I say such horrible things? I forgot. It's so long. It's so long. I must have been really lazy that I watched the whole thing. Talks about the music. Well, anyway, he loves it. He loves it. But I don't see... What was something he said that was interesting to me?
temperature the water in the ocean is.
Was it about this? Was it this part?
This initial room in the Crystal Caves, the blue
Sorry if
hues,
it's
the
boring,
stone
guys.
walls,
Sorry it's boring.
Everything here should tell you that this is a cold and dark place.
Yeah, here
But
he's
I know
talking
for
about
certain
some...
that this is warm and inviting. This forest, there's no way that it doesn't smell like damp wood and those few moments after a rain shower. These worlds, I feel, were given so much life. So much love and care went into the realization of these places, and I cannot ignore it. There's personality, there's life. These spaces are purely virtual, but to me, they're real. Rare puts so much love into the visual design of these places that, as a child, I was able to sort of fill in the gaps of their limitations and the limitations of the medium to fully...
Yeah, I guess that's fine. That's a take I get. It's called immersion. It's called putting love in a game, putting some love in the design. It's called not rushing a title, not chopping it up, not postponing the patches, just releasing a buggy mess, but actually releasing a finished product. Not preparing to sell Lanky Kong's inflation fetish as DLC later on, but just making that base game. It's it was a different era in terms of design, yeah, and that was something that was something I agree with, and that resonated with me. The part about sniffing his grandma panties, though, that was a bit weird. I guess when I saw King Cruel's juicy ass, I was reminded of my grandma. And it makes no sense. That was a bit weird. It was a weird take, I think. So coming from that video, now that we've been inspired, I'm going to play the Donkey Kongs. Are you guys inspired now? Are you guys touched in your feels? Speaking of implying implications of the power of suggestion, that's the term. Like I think that the Super Nintendo even had more power of suggestion because there was less technology to back it up with, but there was enough there that if you wove it together with enough love and care, it became a powerful illusion. And the music is, like he also pointed out for Donkey Kong 64, big part of it. Big part of it. Also, Moonlighter and everyone else, there are now sound alerts. I haven't really excessively tested them, to be honest. But you may. It's a bit of a waste of points, maybe, if you're lacking them. Just turning off some lights here. I'm gonna sit in the dark myself right now. So I like that when I'm not on camera. And that's kind of a key word here, not on camera. All right. Let's see how much I can. Look, it's a butterfly. It's a detail. And it perched. Oh my goodness. Look. And now it's gone. Where's it going? I bet that butterfly smells like, you know what? Let's not go there. Shut up! Where's the mod to keep Donkey Kong from doing that as his idle animation? Look, I'm just taking in the sights. I love how the sky changed in this level. That's masterful. But this art. This level is art. It's piss easy. Oh, the butterfly went in here? Or is it just other butterflies? I never noticed how many butterflies there were. I bet they smelled like my first doo-doo. And this place, it may look cold and uninviting. But it reminds me of my first car accident. It was very cozy in that burning car, as my face melted away. Nope. Okay. Oh, they had steel barrels already. What was the point of them? Oh, they sound like... Wait, you cannot throw the fucker yet? Let's take in all the details, right? Now we've been warmed up to them. Does the emote overlay work, by the way? You cannot throw them? Is that a Donkey Kong Country 2 thing? That is horrible. But I guess this game doesn't need gameplay. It got sick beats. Look at this fucker. He's just nodding. This guy's nodding here in the middle of this good Christian stream. Oh, he nodded on my monkey. Can you go back and get it? Wait. It's funny how this works. Because she can walk through this. See? You can walk through this side, implying this is in front of this platform, but if you jump, you're on top of it. What a beast. What a fucking Loa this is, though. Rumby is a fucking god. And he wasn't in Donkey Kong Country 3. Now I realize why it was so poorly received. Or at least that is a flaw I have trouble. Oh, even more caves. There was no point to these levels, was there? I guess you got lives out of them. If you got 3 of the golden ones, the golden Rambies. But you could also just go back to the first level and get the balloon and then exit the level and then get the balloon again, the 1-up balloon. And now it's turning to night. There's a plot twist. Whoa, what was this one called? Jungle Hijinks, okay. Oh, it does add to the completion status if you complete the bonus levels. I don't even think this game is like gameplay-wise super impressive, but it's so... Look at the rain and the music and shit, man. It just comes together. So far, it's also not painfully hard, but that was the case for Donkey Kong Country 3 as well. Is there something you were using as an emote that I cannot see here? The heart, is that did you spell out heart, or did you mean to type a character that I'm not seeing? It's so brilliant that they came up with this. They're like, yeah, it's another jungle level, but this case, now there's rain and thunder, right? Look at that! Golden Rambi, outside of a bonus level. These fuckers, you can tell they want to mess with you, these armadillos. Armadillos. That's a funny word. Sounds like another funny word. Was there a point to the... I'm gonna hold on to them. The TNT barrels are so extra, they're just there. I keep wanting to throw. What's up here? Just bananas? I have to say though, I'm kind of confused how... I'm just a bit concerned about gaps. Also, that rope was very nicely in position. Swung to the left. That's... Look, why is it in this position? Oh my goodness, I felt something there. Look. It's a classic bee. It's a classic Donkey Kong bee. That's amazing. That reminds me of my uncle's garage. I don't know what it reminded me of, but it reminded me of something. Those bees were a threat, you know? Made me feel a thing. Uncle's garage. I need to knock it out. And now we survived the mayhem. This one is... Are you fucking nuts? You can just keep bashing your head into the same thing. It's like conservatives bashing their head into transgender rights. obsessive morons. An armadillo wasn't right. So here got a bit of representation. Fancy running into you two way out here. A leap of faith is all it takes. Oh, I see. Oh, he's giving hints? Just like that. And there's no economy. Monkey can send you anywhere you've already been. Okay, there's nothing more I can tell you, right? Wait, if I go in with Donkey Kong first, does he make the same sound when he gets hit on the head? You know what I want to try? Because these games shouldn't take so much. I want to try a thingy. Hold on a second. Wait. Oh, let's see. Look at this. This is just God moving around the world. Wait a second. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. I lost the anchor point for dragging things. It shouldn't just be that. It should also be like shrunken down a little bit, not just cropped. Let's see. Now it's like I'm really there. Oh, whatever. Look! It adds nothing. Congratulations. Oh, you cannot see the... Oh, well, no, you saw the monkey behind me. That kind of ruins the immersion. I saw him for a second, but then he was gone. I don't like it. I don't want to see the monkeys behind me. Yeah, you see them when they're in the middle of the screen. Hold on. So, what do we want to see? Just a little bit more of that. Crop the monkey. There you go. There. How's this? I still see a fucking monkey tail. How dare they? Oh well. The illusion works most of the time. Camera's interesting, but it kind of isn't like they're always in the middle of the screen or something. It's kind of not static. I wish I could erase the monkeys like I've done in real life when I took over Donkey Kong Island. Hmm. If I grow it a bit more and then crop it a bit more. I just want to look like I'm in a separate area of the cave. I'm just bored like that easily. Oop. Does it look interesting? Look, as you guys may remember, I've said it several times. Oh. No. 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 I mean, this unlocked some... Maybe this unlocked some childhood memories that would be worthy of a dramatic close-up shot in complete darkness. But we're not gonna go there, are we? The fucking butt sniffing. That was satisfying. Wait. Wait. Oh, there it is. There she is. Yes. Give me all the ananas. Who said it again? The ananas. Oh. There's not even a crevice. Not even a deadly crevice. Interesting. DKC3 would never. Like, bonus levels are just bonus torture. It's not a golden Rembe, but sure, it will do. Okay, but so far the enemies are not ultra annoying. The level design is not actually super painful. And we came out at the other end. Okay, here we go. It's the song. It's the song. Let me turn it up. It's the one. This is the one that blew people away, right? And even if it's a lot of dodging fish, I'm already less angry with it than with the DKC3 level where you have to dodge the basses. If only because I vicariously suffered that level when I watched Vinesauce die in that over and over. Motherfucker. Look what a threat. Ursula is slaying that little catwalk here though. It's slaying this little rotation, for lack of a better word. And look who has been kept in a crate here for all those centuries. Like an archaeological find has just been preserved. Can you kill that thing? I don't actually want to bet on it. I have a feeling that the Croctopus, as I believe this thing is called, is undefeatable, but let's try it anyway. Yep. It can hurt you, but you can't touch it. Madness. Why do I even know that? Like I said, I haven't played it that much. Okay, these are actually the least memorable sprites in the entire franchise. The fucking fish. The shark is fine. It's giving me Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, I forgot. You cannot murder that thing. But the hitbox is not as terrible. Oh, really? Can they reproduce before the Croctopus gets to them? If you want to make babies, can they? Okay, yes, go. I guess the Croctopus just terminated that pregnancy. But he got a good shag in, right? He got to stick that nose of his into something. It's always so weird when there are two animals on the screen. They're supposed to be dissolved. Well, that was actually not a thing until... Oh? Oh my. Well, yeah, that wasn't a thing until Donkey Kong Country 2, I guess, that they were sacrificed into bananas and life balloons, life forces that the monkeys could absorb. And this feels like this was just like... This level wasn't supposed to be a level, it was just supposed to be like a soothing sort of exploration thing. Like some subliminal, maybe an ASMR experience. I don't know how I went out of my way to almost get hit by that. But I want my fish back. Yeah. Fucked it up. Never mind then, no fish. And we found the exit door to the lake. Normally you'd think, well, how do you exit a lake? Just go... Just swim upwards. Couldn't he have just walked without taking a dive here? We're not gonna go too funky. He's too cool for me. Also, he looks a bit purple and Bonzi bodyish. I wonder if my ROM has been compromised. Sure. I'll take that. I'll take that. Look at these leaves, they're so juicy and green. That's part of the strategy. I just didn't enjoy how supple, how easy that went. Why are these... Such a funny sound it is. How did they make that sound effect? Oh! I just pressed things once or twice. Faster! Faster! Oh. Coming from Bramble Blast and shit like that, this is kiddie mode. What's the sky like here? It's kind of like evening. A slightly different skyline again. Again, that is like a sign of the sort of details that they were paying attention to make this jungle come to life. It's a bunch of goddamn pixels. And they only had limited sets, so how are you gonna make that work? Well, by recoloring some assets in a way that makes in the most aesthetic way possible. I'm not sure if I understand the assignment here. It felt like the zinger was keeping up with the barrel perfectly. I'm not feeling the rhythm, you know what I mean? Sure, this can be done very fast. No, that was me trying to speedrun. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Go. Get lost. Fuck you. You cunt. If I had jumped on him With the TNT barrel, it would have dropped the TNT barrel too, right? I assume. My brain seems to think that is logical, even though it's not. But it's conditioned to think that's how it should work. I hate this part. The early makings of a Bramble Blast level. Okay. Nasty. What a nasty level this was. I wonder if Donkey Kong knows how to spell his name. Or if it's just that the letters are conveniently placed, and only those letters are conveniently placed throughout the levels in the order that they occur in his name. Yep. Her only role is there to be eye candy, quote unquote. What is a role even? To make you act out? To awaken you sexually? Why is she like that? Why is she so insignificant? Also, Wrinkly is way hotter, just saying. As a safe con. Love myself a Wrinkly granny that reminds me of... Candy Kong reminds me of my grandma's bedroom. You're just literally jumping around and getting like a giant... Oh, okay. That almost got a little wretched. When he started jumping further than before, oh wow, that was intense. Dark Souls boss right there. I wanted to do at least a minecart level, prove my mastery of that shit. Even though I have no idea, I'm probably gonna suck at it. Look at that light here though. Like the sprites do not really seem to be affected by it, but it does have a really nice glow. It's not an actual light source, I have to keep that in mind. They made it look that way. It's impressive. There is this faggot thingy. Why is it a faggot, Zach? You cannot say that. Oh, because he's just like been overlooked by the other ones in favor of other animals. Like, it doesn't say anything about him. Also, he doesn't have any kind of really interesting gameplay to him. He feels sort of there. Yeah, he can jump a bit higher, but that's it. He's not good at defeating enemies or anything. Oh, fuck that face. Why in the middle of that, of all things? Oh, you get to play a bonus level as her because I had Espresso. Is that a her? Look at cool 90 shoes. I thought it was just a spider, I forgot she also had it. So you get 3 of them, and you can play a bonus level on top of the bonus. That's kind of cool. And then you can hover up ostriches. Bit narcissistic, right? It's a bit of a narcissistic wet dream for that ostrich. Also, I haven't even seen the ostrich before. It's kind of weird that I'm playing at it on a bonus level, but it's not been in the game yet. Alright, and then it counts the amount of hundreds. Could have stopped after 300 then. I feel like that should have been rounded up instead of down. That way it at least would have made sense to continue. Vroom, vroom. Okay, so I was making fun of this little shit as a boss, but an actual dumb non-boss beaver just owned me. Why do they... Yeah, without the... Frog has also been made obsolete by the fact they can just throw each other up now. Like, jumping high is... double the height is kind of baseline. Of course. Of course. Good thing I made those extra lives so I can waste them on beavers spawning from a toxic barrel. Turn on the volume a little bit. Okay, this is the one, guys. Making a safe state because I'm not gonna wait till I get to Candy Kong again. I'm not sure where she is, but I'm not gonna wait till I get there. That's an intense Kong look. Intense dong. Oh, that jump feels so heavy and clunky. Oh, it's speeding up. It's speeding up again. Yay, left where you have to jump over gaps. That was a hard one. I wanted to get the bananas though, it was worth it. Lost a life, but I got 20% of a life back for it. Or maybe a 10% of a life, I don't know. It's called an investment. Yeah, these mines, they really remind me of when my grandpa locked me up in the basement. Such happy childhood memories of being left in the dark for days. Having rats gnaw at my legs, pee on me. Gorgeous. That is only a challenging jump because of how clunky this thing jumps. Yep. Why don't you react at like 1/30th of a second notice? What? I was slaying this. What the fuck? What was the jump? What was the pixel perfect fucking jump? And why is there no lava in a minecart level? That one. That is... Yes. This is a design that is level. Yep. Yeah, you reacted on time, but you reacted like a split second too early. Insane. The speed of that thing is coming at you. I could not jump faster than that! This level feels broken. I'm sorry. This is the Donkey Kong Country gameplay I know and love. This is a taste of what was to come. I can just smell the baby Kong. I can smell his diapers. He isn't here, but you know, that's one of those inexplicable associations I have between the gameplay of this level. I knew it was coming this time though, and I fucked that one up again. Not pixel perfect enough, the jump. Yep. Oh. Fucker! Mind cunt level. And this is why I have a lifetime aversion against Minecraft and I never gave it a shot. Hold on, there is a tissue just covering the bottom of my screen ever so slightly. And I'm gonna blame that tissue. This is more like, this stopped reminding me of Kiddy Kongs. This reminds me more and more of rubbing my nose in his steamy diaper. I love always having just one Kong toward the end. Yep. What? Mother of Christ. Last chance? How did I make it past this as a kid? I guess there's always that whole thing with the lag when you play a ROM versus a analog game. There's an ever so slight lag, I will admit that, but those jumps are bullshit. Like I jumped over him and I got hit mid-air. This jump too is a fuck. Yep. I thought I could do this better. I didn't know it was that bad. I thought it was gonna be easy. I have so much experience with this and I played Donkey Kong Country 3 recently, you know? This is such a weird difficulty spike too. The reaction speed required and everything, and perfectly timed. Oh, that was very Vinny, right? I'm practicing. I'm getting there. You just play enough Bobby game, you immediately you become the Vinny. You play enough Gorm. It feels so unfair. It just feels so unfair. Yep. Yep. It's like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Like, this jump, I don't know, I just got it pixel perfect, but otherwise, other than that. Why am I doing this to myself? I'm just doing this for the subscribers at this point. I'm done. Fuck my subscribers. Oh my god, I'm done. That was fun. That was fun. Very lovely. That reminded me of the time that. No, you know what? No, that's not. Let's keep it classy this time. It just reminded me of the time that I went to my neighbor's house and was playing with the kid, and then he came home drunk and he beat the shit out of us. And he started chasing after us with a drill, threatening to drill a hole in my skull, saying no brain, no pain. I think I got that from Pet Cemetery too. So that is my nostalgia fix. And that's why I fucking cannot fucking idealized the past so much because that pissed me off. Fucking hell, let's BRB.